What is the most successful business deal in history? You might think of a tech merger or an oil discovery, but the real answer might be a deal that one side didn't even want to take. In 1984, a young basketball player desperately wanted to sign with Adidas. The company he ultimately signed with was seen as a second-rate choice, a brand known for running, not basketball. That deal was projected to make $3 million over 3 years. Instead, it made $126 million in the first year alone. This wasn't just a shoe deal. It was a gamble that would redefine the entire concept of marketing and create a multi-billion-dollar empire from a single name. The company was Nike. The player was a rookie named Michael Jordan. In the early 1980s, Nike was in trouble. The running boom that had fueled its rise was fading. Their attempt to enter the basketball market was a failure. The sport was dominated by Converse, the official shoe of the NBA, and the globally popular Adidas. Nike was losing money and laying off employees. They were desperate for a way to become relevant. Michael Jordan was a phenomenal college player, but he was still an unproven talent in the professional league. He had his heart set on signing with Adidas. He was so uninterested in Nike that he almost refused to even get on the plane for a meeting. So how did a struggling shoe company, on the brink of a downturn, partner with a reluctant rookie to create a brand that would not only save Nike but build a legacy that transcends sports and changed marketing forever? That's the question we're answering today. To understand how the Jordan brand became a global phenomenon, we need to break down the 3 core pillars of Nike's revolutionary strategy. It was a masterclass in risk, storytelling, and rule-breaking. By 1984, the conventional wisdom for basketball marketing was clear. A brand would sign several top-tier, established athletes. Converse had a roster of superstars like Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, and Julius Erving. The strategy was to spread your bets across the league's best players. Nike couldn't afford that. And one visionary executive, Sonny Vaccaro, argued they shouldn't even try. Vaccaro saw something different in Michael Jordan. He saw a unique combination of grace and power that he believed could change the game. He proposed a radical, unheard-of strategy to Nike's leadership. Instead of signing 3 or 4 players, they should take their entire $500,000 basketball marketing budget and give it all to one kid. This was more than just an endorsement. The plan was to build an entire brand around Jordan. His agent, David Falk, even came up with a name for the concept before a product existed: Air Jordan. Nike's co-founder, Phil Knight, was skeptical. Betting the entire division on a single rookie who hadn't played a single NBA game was a monumental risk. But Nike was desperate. They approved the plan. The next hurdle was convincing Jordan himself. Jordan was loyal to his college coach, Dean Smith, who wore Converse. But his personal preference was Adidas. His agent had to practically force him to visit Nike's campus in Oregon. There, Nike put on a full-court press. They presented a vision, not just a shoe. They showed him designs for his own signature sneaker, apparel, and a video that highlighted his acrobatic style of play, set to the song Jump by the Pointer Sisters. They offered him a 5-year, $2.5 million deal, plus royalties on every shoe sold. It was an astronomical figure for a rookie at the time. The vision, and the unprecedented offer, worked. Jordan signed. Nike's internal projections for the first Air Jordan shoe were ambitious: sell $3 million worth over 3 years. In the first year, the Air Jordan 1 brought in $126 million. The gamble had paid off beyond anyone's wildest imagination. With the deal signed, the next challenge was marketing. How do you sell a shoe that is so deeply tied to one person? Nike's answer was simple, yet profound: you don't sell the shoe. You sell the man. Before Air Jordan, athletic endorsements were transactional. A famous athlete would wear a product and, in a commercial, say they liked it. The focus was on the product's features. Nike, with their ad agency Wieden plus Kennedy, flipped this script entirely. They focused on building a mythos around Michael Jordan himself. Their commercials weren't about leather quality or ankle support. They were about his superhuman ability, his charisma, and his relentless drive. They were selling aspiration. This strategy was perfectly captured in the legendary Mars Blackman commercials. In the ads, the director Spike Lee, playing his character from the film She's Gotta Have It, would pester Jordan, trying to find the source of his greatness. Is it the shoes? Mars would ask, again and again. The implicit answer was always clear. It wasn't the shoes. It was Jordan. The shoes were simply the closest you could get to touching that greatness. The slogan, "It's gotta be the shoes," became a cultural catchphrase. This shifted the paradigm of marketing. Nike understood that people don't just buy products for what they do, they buy them for what they represent. The Air Jordan wasn't just footwear. It was a piece of an icon. It was a symbol of excellence. This personality-driven approach created an emotional bond with consumers that no competitor could replicate. The final piece of the strategy came from an unexpected place, the NBA league office. The first Air Jordan 1 was produced in a striking black and red colorway, reflecting the Chicago Bulls team colors. However, at the time, the NBA had a strict uniformity of uniform rule, which dictated that players' shoes must be at least 51% white. Jordan's bold new shoes were a direct violation. The league sent a letter to Nike informing them that Jordan would be fined $5,000 every single time he wore the black and red shoes on the court. For any other company, this would be a crisis. It would mean a costly redesign and a marketing setback. But for Nike, it was the greatest gift they could have asked for. They embraced the controversy. Nike willingly paid the fines for Jordan. And they turned the entire ordeal into one of the most brilliant marketing campaigns of all time. They created a commercial that showed Jordan dribbling a basketball. The camera pans down to his feet, but the shoes are covered by a black sensor bar. The narrator's voice is stern and serious. On October 15th, Nike created a revolutionary new basketball shoe. On October 18th, the NBA threw them out of the game. Fortunately, the NBA can't stop you from wearing them. The effect was electric. The shoes weren't just cool anymore, they were forbidden. They were an act of rebellion. Wearing Air Jordans was a statement against authority, a badge of individuality. Nike had taken a regulatory obstacle and transformed it into a powerful narrative. They didn't sell a shoe that broke the rules, they sold the very idea of breaking the rules. Demand exploded. So, what was the secret? How did this partnership become the most valuable in history? It wasn't just about signing a talented athlete. Converse had the biggest stars on the planet. It wasn't just about making a quality product. Other companies made great shoes. The aha moment is this: Nike never sold a shoe. They sold a story. They took a risk on a single personality. They built an entire mythology around him. And they used controversy to cement that myth into legend. They fused Michael Jordan's identity with the product so perfectly that the two became one. The shoe was the man, and the man was the shoe. This was the critical insight. Competing brands were selling leather and rubber. Nike was selling greatness. They were selling the dream of flight. They understood that a powerful narrative creates an emotional connection that features and benefits can never touch. They didn't create an endorsement deal. They created a separate, distinct brand. The Jordan brand is now a subsidiary of Nike that, in fiscal year 2023, generated over $6.5 billion in revenue. It makes more money on its own than the entire revenue of competitors like Puma and Under Armour. The strategy was to build a brand around a person, not a product. And in doing so, they made the person and the product immortal. The Nike and Michael Jordan partnership is more than just a successful case study. It is the blueprint for all modern influencer and athlete marketing. Before this deal, athletes simply endorsed products. After this deal, the athletes became the brand. The idea of a signature product line that embodies the personality of an individual, from Kanye West's Yeezys to Rihanna's Fenty, all traces its lineage back to the Air Jordan 1. Nike proved that an authentic connection with a powerful personality could build a tribe of loyal followers in a way traditional corporate branding never could. The ultimate lesson is that the most powerful asset a company can have is a story. In a crowded marketplace, consumers aren't looking for another product. They're looking for something to believe in. By building their brand around Michael Jordan's unparalleled drive and rebellious spirit, Nike gave a generation something to believe in. They didn't just sell shoes. They sold an idea. And that idea changed the world. If you learned something new, hit the like button and subscribe for more strategy breakdowns. And let us know in the comments, what company's strategy should we unlock next?